about something very near and dear to my heart, and it is the concept of fail forward. Now, as you see that term on the board, maybe some of you are able to kind of figure out in your head, I think I know where he's going with this. I've heard Mr. Mercuro's other talks. I've had a few Motivation Mondays at this point in the school year. I can probably guess where he's going with this. Fail forward. It is one of my favorite phrases in the English language, and it is something that I very much live my life by. And by thinking of this concept of fail forward, what it does for me in my life, and hopefully for yours, is it puts a positive spin on failure. In this life, failure is so looked down upon. Failure has such a negative connotation. And I personally think failure gets a bad rap. I don't think failure is as bad as it's made out to be. I believe that in your life and in my life, failure can actually be a really, really good thing. And we are so afraid of failing that sometimes we don't even try. Like there's people that are like, oh, I'd like to try out for the team. I'd like to try out for the musical. I'd like to ask this person to the homecoming dance. But what if they say no? What if I don't make the team? What if I don't get the part that I try out for in the play? I don't know if I can handle that level of rejection. And it's like, no, that should not be your mindset. Your mindset should be, hey, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to try something new. And whatever happens, happens. I'm going to do my best and ultimately learn from the experience and continue to move forward. And if it doesn't work out the way that I had hoped, that's okay. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself that if you don't succeed every single time at everything that you do, that somehow your life is a complete failure. Stop it. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. That is no way to live life. The fact of the matter is you are never going to be perfect, and God knows I am never going to be perfect. We are going to fail. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to come up short in this life. But my advice to all of you today is to fail forward. It is not a full failure if you learn from the experience, if you take something from the experience, if you are able to grow from the experience and say, okay, I didn't get the part that I wanted, but I'm still going to be in the musical. I didn't make the team this year, but you know what? I'm going to play CYO, and I'm going to work on my game. And you better believe next year, there's no way I'm not making that team, okay? And so please understand that from failure can come growth. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to get tripped up. You are going to fall flat on your face in this life as you pursue the life of your dreams. My advice to you is when you fall, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep pushing forward. You keep learning, growing, getting better until ultimately you get to where you want to be in this life. There are two types of people in this world. One, when they fail, they try again, and nothing is going to stop them from ultimately getting to where they want to be. And those that when they fail say, oh well, I tried once. Oh well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Oh well, I guess I'll try something else. Heck, I could even argue there's a third person. The third person doesn't even try. They don't even take the chance because they're so afraid, what if I fail? I would rather fail and learn from the experience than not try at all and always wonder what if. And so I want to give you a few examples of fail forward. A guy named Reggie Jackson, okay? He struck out 2,597 times in Major League Baseball. He is the all-time strikeout leader in Major League Baseball. Oh, by the way, he's also a Hall of Famer. He's in Cooperstown, New York. So is Jim Thome, who struck out 2,548 times. He's second on the all-time strikeout list. Both of them are in the Hall of Fame. Because, yes, they struck out a lot, but they weren't afraid to swing the bat. And they're also two of the all-time home run leaders in Major League Baseball. We don't think of Reggie Jackson or Jim Thome for the strikeouts. We think of them for the home runs. We think of them for the heroics, for the great plays that they made throughout their career that helped their teams to win. Please understand that when it comes to this life, it's going to take a lot of swinging the bat, a lot of striking out before you ultimately hit that home run and have the success that you've been pursuing. Thomas Edison, you guys know the story of Thomas Edison. He didn't go into his lab and invent the light bulb first or second try. Nearly 1,000 different experiments before he finally figured out the light bulb. We don't remember him, oh, Thomas Edison, what a failure. That guy, it took him 1,000 tries to come up with the light bulb. Geez, what's his problem? No, we remember him for his greatest success, and we hail him as one of the greatest inventors in human history. That man was not afraid to try and fail, try and fail, try and fail. Denzel Washington, one of the most accomplished, famous actors in our modern American culture. Did you know he was failing out of college with a 1.7 GPA before he finally got his act together and graduated from Fordham University in the Bronx, New York? How about Steve Harvey? You guys heard of Steve Harvey? Did you know he was homeless for 3 years, living out of his car? He had $30 in his bank account. That's it. Now the man is a multi-millionaire and as big a celebrity as there is around the world. Guys, these are just a few examples of very famous, very successful people who failed and failed and failed and failed and failed before ultimately they succeeded. How about my guy Michael Jordan, sophomore in high school, got cut from the varsity basketball team. He was going to quit basketball altogether if it wasn't for his mother convincing him to stay with the sport. He played on the JV team his sophomore year before ultimately making the varsity team his junior and senior year, going on to North Carolina to win a national championship and ultimately going into the NBA to win 6 NBA championships and be regarded as one of the greatest to ever step on a basketball court. You show me a highly successful person, and I will show you someone who failed and failed and failed, but refused to give up and ultimately persevered to experience the level of success they are experiencing today. I need you to understand the same is true for your own life. You are going to fail. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to slip up. You are going to do stupid things where you hit yourself over the head saying, what was I thinking? Learn from the mistake and push forward, aka fail forward. Failure is not as bad as our society makes it out to be. Do not be afraid to fail. I would rather you put yourself out there and try and fail than not try at all. Guys, as you continue to move through this life, that is what highly successful people do. They fail forward. I have failed time and time again. That is why I succeed. The same will be true for you. When you fail, learn from it, grow from it, and push forward to do better the next time. If that is how you live your life from here on out, you are going to go on to do some very great things with your life. I have no